All right, let's get started. Welcome to our Hopper Node operator live stream. Um, we are conducting this stream as part of the GIP 98 to inform and assist those interested in joining the Gnosis Chain as node operator. Today we have many brilliant guests with us who will share their presentation about how to run a node on Gnosis Chain. So let me introduce the participants first. Sebastian Bergel is a co-founder of Hopper and vice president of VP of Tech at Gnosis. I decentralized from Obol Network with us. Chuy Garcia from DAppNode with us. Luis Bezengar from Shutter Network with us. Marcos and Mark from Nethermind with us. And my name's Arman. I'm from Gnosis. So yeah, this broadcast, this stream will consist of 4 sections. We will discuss technical features of Gnosis Chain, provide a brief demonstration on using DAppNode, how you can improve and develop your node operation smoothly. And also, we'll talk about opportunities within the Gnosis Chain stack ecosystem, such as Shutter Network and Obol Collective. We will also cover how you can join as a validator as a Shutter Network, and from Nethermind team members, Marcos and Mark will demonstrate with Sage and the Shutter Network technical features. And also end of the all presentation, we will have a question and answer session. Let's get started. We will begin with Sebastian, who will explain what is GIP 98 and why we are inviting Hopper node operators into Gnosis Chain.
Yeah, hi everyone. Arman, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Very, very nice to be here and meet everyone. And thanks for the intro, Arman. So basically at Hopper, we think about how we can make these crypto ecosystems more resilient. Basically, that's all what it is about, right? If we think about blockchains, they are actually a lot shittier than SQL databases. They're a lot slower, they're a lot more expensive, and they're a lot less mature. So why are we doing that? We're doing that because we want to provide resilient infrastructure for humans, right? Whatever you want to do. If you want to transact, send money, do business, interact on, hopefully in the future, social media, which are not just controlled by one crazy person. That's all what blockchains are here to build. And decentralization is certainly one important point in that direction, right? If you want to have something that's censorship resistant, you don't want it to be just being switched off by said one crazy guy. So decentralization is super important. But decentralization isn't all. Sometimes I say decentralization alone doesn't help you so much if somebody can see every single step along your path, right? So every single thing that you do in these decentralized networks, if everybody can follow it, that's not great. And that's what that's why at Hopper, we build privacy infrastructure that allows you to send data privately and untracked. So that's what we pursue. Now, of course, these two things work perfectly well together, right? You have on the one side, you have privacy, and on the other hand, you have decentralization. These two do belong together, and we see in a number of other presentations that follow here today how that really goes. And actually, at Hopper, what we promote to really make some of that happen and to make it happen in a way that really reaches consumers and individual users, like every single person here on this call, is we proposed Gnosis VPN. So on top of this Hopper network, which, by the way, runs on Gnosis Chain, so the incentives of Hopper are settled on Gnosis Chain. It allows you to send data around. We build a VPN on top of that. So it will look and feel like a normal VPN, but it's just going to be much more private. And yeah, so that's basically a product in the Gnosis 3.0 ecosystem and vision. So Gnosis recently announced their Gnosis 3.0 vision, which details how Gnosis has in the past developed very successful products like Safe, CowSwap, Kropatki, just to name some, and is now spinning out other products and building products in the ecosystem. And we, from the Hopper side, were proposing, okay, let's build Gnosis VPN, because that fits, as I just explained, perfectly together with Gnosis. And since anyway, the Hopper ecosystem has currently around 400 nodes running on top of Gnosis Chain for people who run these Hopper nodes to send data packets around, we said, hey, why don't we actually bring these two ecosystems even closer together by giving you, as Hopper node runner, a free GNO. And instead of just giving you a free GNO that you sell yourself right away, we said, let's make this more interesting. Let's give you a validator. Let's make you, as Hopper node runners, a validator also of Gnosis Chain. And we make it free. It's not just free, but also you will earn rewards for validating that chain. So every now and then you get selected, and we will hear more of that, of how that works. But every now and then you will get selected to produce a block, and then you earn rewards, not just GNO rewards for the block, but also transaction fees in XDAI. That's actually pretty cool. And as most Hopper people know, we're very closely working with dapnode. So on your device, if you have a device on which you're running a Hopper node, we already tell people, hey, please run your own Gnosis execution and consensus layer node. You can basically run your validator. So you don't need any extra hardware. You can run it on the existing hardware you have, and you get one per Hopper node, you get one GNO for free. And to make it even better, now there might be some people here on the call who say, hey, I missed it, sorry. We haven't maxed out the 500, right? If you want to run a start now, you can totally do that. You can start a Hopper node, and you can sign up for the waitlist. We will activate your node, and if you're doing a good job and your Hopper node is actually online, then you will receive on the next distribution. We still have to decide when that's going to be, but you will receive your free 1 GNO, which you can then use to secure Gnosis Chain and earn money for securing Gnosis Chain as well. So just as an outlook for the people who are saying, hey, that sounds cool, but how can I join? Well, exactly that's how. And yeah, I guess we will also hear some more from dapnode later on how you do that exactly. Yeah, we'll take you through all of that. And with that, maybe I hand it back to Arman.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'm extremely excited to invite such high qualified node operators into the Gnosis chain and work together to ensure the security of the network, diversification, and also many things. Yeah, right now I would like to show you the basic features of Gnosis chain and the first step of your participation as a validator. Let me prepare my slides here. All right.
Let me just preface what Arman is going to show. Like, I know it seems a little bit crazy, like that you run a node and you participate in that chain, you secure the chain. It sounds very scary, I know, but it's not. It's super easy. Like anybody with at least some, you don't need to be technical, but with just some technical interest, you can make it.
Absolutely. That's why I want to show, and also Chuy also will show us how you can use a dapnode with a few clicks and starting a node on the dapnode UI and dapnode machine. Yeah, let's get started. First of all, in this slides, in this part, I'm gonna show you fundamentals of the Gnosis chain and what is your main duty as a validator and what we have tools and resources for the validators. Yeah, who am I? My name is Arman. I'm a validator lead at Gnosis Chain. My main objective, onboard more solo stakers into Gnosis and also bridge between core developers and infra team as well as the community, and also improve the tools. We have increasing the accessibility, which are the basic educational tools, the infrastructure tools such as launchpads or deposit tools, and more. And also continue to support the Gnosis validator community for the network health, which are the basic, they educate the current and potential validators, node operators, and give support them. So, sorry, I have more than 3 screen right now, so I'm gonna operate everything. So why we are doing this? The main what is our main objective for the providing a node operation on Gnosis chain? The basic answer, there is no basic answer, but we have a plenty solid answers for that. Of course, the ownership of the chain. As the Martin mentioned at the DAppCon opening presentation, he said everyone should be able to transact on the chain they have ownership in with a own device or dApp node or any kind of machine, and which is allow that everyone can own your whole financial stack with becoming a validator. What does it mean? If you are a validator, you can control, you can validate the chain, you can see what's going on the chain, and also you are a very solid partner of the chain as a single validator, single node operator. For example, we have a Gnosis Pay, which are the payment infrastructure and the payment product. If you have a Gnosis Pay card, you can also see the whole chain activities as a validator. Maybe this is maybe the bad because in terms of the privacy, but we also building a privacy tools for the Gnosis Pay. So in the near future, we will have both privacy tools and also the ownership of the chain as a validator. So it's a really nice opportunity to having the whole financial stack. So I would like to give some brief info about the chain. Yeah, we have same architecture as Ethereum. If you are using Ethereum right now, we are written the same architecture on Ethereum. So to run a node on Gnosis chain, to run a Gnosis node, you need to run execution layer and consensus layer clients to allow them to communicate each other. But if you don't have any GNO, you can also run and just a consensus layer side, not the you don't need to you don't need to participate in the consensus layer side. You just only run an execution layer side as a node operator. But if you want to build a block, you have to participate execution and consensus layer side. So execution layer side is where smart contracts and the EVM and the network rules reside. So we have clients such as Nethermind, Aragon, Get and Red is on the line. We are trying to onboard first the Get and then Red. I will share more info about the current progress about the client implementation. After this call, you can easily see our weekly core devs call notes on the official documents, or you can basically easily follow the Gnosis Chain YouTube channel, watch the all core devs call records. On consensus layer side, the same architecture and tooling as an Ethereum consensus layer, responsible for proof of stake incentives, maintaining consensus chain, consensus at the chain, proposal attestation, and the fork choice. So we have similar consensus layer clients such as Teku, Lodestar, Lighthouse, and Nimbus. As I tried to mention before, tried to explain before, we have two different type of consensus layer nodes. Which one is a beacon nodes and the validator clients nodes. The beacon nodes, you don't need to any GNO, just participate as a consensus proof of stake consensus with the other beacon nodes in the P2P network. But if you want to build a block, you become a validator. So this is another type of the participation style on the network. I'm gonna go the other slides. Yeah, let's keep on the fundamentals. Yeah, if you want to become a validator, you need just a one GNO. This is a minimum stake requirements for the each validators, and our rewards, which means APR, is around the 30%. So, which is a really nice opportunity to earning some GNO and XTAI as a validator. And yeah, you can start your validator journey or node operator journey with a ARM or Arch-based mini computers, dApp nodes, or if you have an own device, it's super easy to start your journey. I would not recommend using a cloud service because of we want to establish a really robust and resilient chain, which are located at different geographical location all over the world. So please use your own hardwares like mini computer, dApp node, or your old gaming machine or your old computer. Yeah, on CPU side, at least 4 threads per gigabyte CPU. 4 threads CPU, and on the storage side, you need on storage side is a little bit complicated. The minimum requirements is like 2 terabyte is seems enough, but I would recommend 4 terabytes. On the RAM side, yes, 16 gigabyte RAM is the minimum requirements for the start. On bandwidth, you need more than 30 megabits at least, and also the monthly data usage is 3 or 4 terabytes. But let's make sure your internet bandwidth, there should be no up limit for the download and upload. So your internet service provider, I don't want your internet service provider calling you and hey, what's going on your home? It's a bad signal. So yeah, as I mentioned before, client diversity, we try to establish a really nice, really robust chain. On execution layer side, Aragon, Nethermind, Get, and Red. Right now we have just only Aragon and Nethermind. On consensus layer side, Lighthouse, Lodestar, Teku, and Nimbus. So what is your main duty as a validator? Basically, just one main duty: build a block and keep the network secure. Yeah, build a block and earn rewards. It's a super vanilla options on your operation. Consensus layer with GNO on your consensus layer rewards with a GNO, which includes attestation rewards, synth committee rewards, and block proposal rewards. On execution layer side, your rewards will be XDAI, which is come from the transaction fees. And yeah, we have also a few resources, really solid resources. For starting point, I would recommend please visit our official docs. Also, we have also very specific hub validator hub for those who want to become a validator. We provide different options such as for beginner level users, for intermediate level users, or advanced level users. Advanced level for the existing node operator. You know the all the things, and maybe want to make sure that everything's fine. Or intermediate level users, you know all the things, but you don't have any experience for the starting point. Yeah, please check it out, the validator hub. After that, yeah, of course, we have a deposit UI after the setting up. For becoming a validator, you need a deposit minimum 1 GNO. You can use this UI. And also for the advanced level users, checkpoint sync provider, you can control everything on the checkpoint side. We have 3 different explorers, which are the Gnosis Chain, the Beacon Chain team also providing their explorer on the Gnosis Chain side. Gnosis can also provide a beacon .gnosisscan.io, and also you can use a Block Scout explorer on the consensus layer side. On the documents, official documents, we have RPC providers. We have different type of RPC providers. You can see all the options. Of course, we have a dedicated Discord channel on the Discord, Gnosis Chain Discord. Our extremely nice support managers and the community relationship managers providing a extremely nice support. If you have any questions, just share it on the chat. Okay. At this stage, I'm gonna invite to Chuy this stage for the showing the dApp node options. Welcome, Chuy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. And can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you very, very much to you, Arman and Sebastian, and everyone in this call, and of course to the Gnosis Chain community for being here today. Dapnode has been a project that has grown a lot, just being part of this whole family. So it is very, very special to be here today on behalf of the Dapnode team. So thank you for that, first of all. And well, a lot has been said today so far about how Gnosis Chain and Hopper work together. But let's actually take a look at how this happens and can be easier with Dapnode. So I'm going to quickly share my screen to show you already a running instance of Dapnode. So as it was mentioned, Hopper is built on top of Gnosis Chain. So let's start by seeing the steps for setting up a Hopper node. So if I go to the dApp store and I look for the Hopper package, I apologize for the missing avatar. We are doing some service in the repository, so sorry about that. So if I click install, it's going to ask me for a few things. Let's hold this thought right here, hold this RPC provider, because in the Hopper package will need obviously access to an RPC for Gnosis Chain. But if we have a Gnosis Chain node installed in the same machine, we can actually be using our own node instead of depending on a third party. So hold that thought there. I'm going to get back to this at some point. And it's going to ask us for 3 things. It's going to ask us to set up an identity file password. So let's just set up something temporary. And if we go here, it's going to ask us for a staking safe address and a staking safe module address. So where can we actually find these addresses? In the Hopper staking hub. So there's actually a link to this here. And let me share how it looks. So this is a very, very nice launchpad that the Hopper team put together for setting up your node in the registry. So it's going to go over what you're going to need, and it's going to give you an approximate time that it'll take. So I highly recommend that you take a look at this if you're interested in running a Hopper node. And if I go to how it looks once I go through it, it's going to look like this. And the dashboard is going to give us a safe address and a module address, which is the ones that we need. So if I go back here and just set up this for purposes of this example. So, it's going to ask for a longer password. So yeah, that's great. And here it's going to ask us for our public IP. In DAppNode, it is very easy to find. You can find your DIN DNS entry or also your public IP if you go to the upper right avatar here. I'm actually able to see both of these. So I'm going to copy the DIN DNS entry. And it's going to also ask for the port. So let's include that here. And if I submit this, it's gonna make me go through the installation process, which should be pretty simple. So going back to Gnosis Chain, how does it actually look setting up a Gnosis Chain node? It is super easy. If you go to the stakers menu and under the Gnosis Chain tab, this actually went. Yeah, I think something went wrong there, but I think you got the purposes with the information that should be there. So if I go to execution client, then I pick Nethermind, and then I'm gonna pick Lodestar Gnosis as consensus client, and then the remote signer in case I'm interested in running any validators. But today I'm gonna be skipping that part of it. So if I apply the configuration, I accept the terms and conditions, and it's going to start the process of downloading both of these clients and installing it. So let's give it a few seconds for it to finish. And this is where the part of the RPC comes back, because how can I actually connect? Like, you could be running one of these Gnosis Chain nodes, but if you're still with your MetaMask or any wallet provider that you prefer, if you're still accessing public RPC, it pretty much defeats the whole purpose of running your own node, right? So if I go to the execution client, which is Nethermind XDAI, let's just wait for it to, okay. So it's finished. If I go to the info tab and I copy this address here, the querying API, this is actually the new RPC URL that I can be using for connecting to my own node as long as I am in the same network. So this would be what I would have to copy and paste into the Hopper node if I wanted to be using my own Gnosis Chain node. So yeah, sorry if I rushed a little bit, but this is like basically the steps that you need to take for setting up your own Gnosis Chain node and also Hopper with DAppNode. So if you're interested in giving this a try, we're always happy to help in both the Gnosis Chain Discord community and also DAppNode. So yeah, thanks again. And if there are any questions, please feel free to shoot me a DM or reach out to me.
Thank you for the amazing demonstration to how to start a node on the dapp.ui. So I'm a big fan of the DAppNode. I'm a user of the DAppNode, so I really appreciate how easy it makes the entire process. So yeah, as the Chuy mentioned before, please, if you have any questions, just reach out on the DAppNode Discord or the Gnosis Chain Discord. We have also a really nice campaign with the DAppNode. If you want to, right now, if you want to buy a DAppNode, we will give a free GNO. Those who want to start a node on the Gnosis Chain, so it's a perfect opportunity to everyone. So yeah, thank you, Chuy. I will hand over to you. And next up is from Marcos from Nethermind, and who will share features and usage of the Nethermind stage with us. Welcome, Marcos.
Hello, thank you, Armagan. Hello, guys. My name is Marcos. I am from Nethermind and currently working as a DevOps engineer there. So let me share my screen. So today I'm going to talk about Sedge, which was a tool that was created to set up and deployment of an Ethereum node with ease. About the key features that currently Sedge has is that we support Ethereum, fully mainnet, and the testnet Sepoli and Oleski. We also support Gnosis and Chiado testnet. It's really easy to stop with just a few commands in the terminal. You are ready to go. And we also support Lido CSM, currently in testing on Oleski. So how to generate a Gnosis validator using Sedge is quite simple. The first thing that you need to do is install our package. You have a few options there. You can do it using Homebrew, you can do it using our GitHub builds, or you can build it by yourself. Once you have that on place and you have your settings packaged in your machine, you just need to generate your configuration, which is basically one step like show here, which said generate full node. You specify the network. In this case, is Gnosis. You specify the execution client, the consensus client, and the validator. In braces is there because you can either select, either put it there which one you want or not, or Sedge will select for you any of the supported clients for the specific configuration. Additionally, you can set up your fee recipient, which is the one that is going to get the rewards from your staking endeavors. So once you have your configuration and you run Sedge generate, it basically is going to generate the Docker Compose file and also the environment bars that the config is going to need to run those components. And once we reach that point, we will need to get the keys that are going to allow us to access our validators. So with running such keys and specifying the network, we are going to be able to receive a prompt where we are going to put our password, is going to give us a mnemonic, or if we have the mnemonic, is also a flag there for you to put it there, and you will generate as many validators as you want according to the amount of Genode that you are going to deposit and you are going to be validating. Once you have your keys, you need to import your keys into the Sedge config using Sedge import keys network Gnosis, and you have to specify you have to specify the validator that you are using, because each validator has different ways to handle the keys. And in this case, with Teku, you will import the keys properly, and with that, you just need to run Sedge run. Also, we have another one single line that is running Sedge CLI, that it will prompt different questions where you will be able to select the different configs according to what you want. So with that, we have the following folder structure, where we have the Docker Compose, the secrets, the key stores, and the validator data. So we need to get the deposit data that is inside of the key stores. We have to go to the deposit on gnosischain.com, and we need to connect our wallet, put the paste the deposit data JSON, deposit our Geno, and with that we are ready to go. With just those simple steps, and we are ready to validate. So about the common features that we are going to be building on Sedge are that we are going to be supporting DBT. We are working closely with the Obol team to bring Sedge support for distributed validator technology. And we are also working on including in our stack some monitoring tools that will allow us to add alerting, tracking validators, balancing the balance, and everything in between. So, well, that will be all. It's easy to set up your nodes using Sedge, just a few commands away. And if you need any help, or you have any questions regarding that, you can reach us in our Netherminds Discord channel or over the Gnosis Slack and Discord channel too. Thank you so much, Armagan. Go back to you.
Thank you so much, Marcos. It was super nice presentation. I think Sage is one of my favorite tools on the in terms of usage. Extremely easy, just a few clicks. So yeah, thank you so much for the detailed presentation. Next up, I will continue to some hints and tips for the client's choice. And speaking of the clients, in this section, I would like to provide some hints, tips, and what is the good one, what is the another good one, because of the all clients is super reliable. So yeah, let's start. As I said before, on the consensus layer side, you have a few options on, for example, Teku, Lighthouse, Nimbus, and Lodestar right now on Gnosis Chain. All the clients is fine, and there are a few small differences between each other. For example, Teku is more resources hungry in terms of RAM and CPU. The other clients. So if you pick the Teku, you have to consider the RAM and CPU usage, and also the other side on the SSD, which is a storage side, it run slightly slower on the SSDs. So Teku is also providing a really nice supports on the every channel. So they are constantly upgrading their clients. Teku is managed by the consensus system. So yeah, on the Lighthouse is stable, efficient. But right now on the Gnosis chain, Lighthouse is a super majority consensus client. Please consider the consensus client diversity on Gnosis chain, so we can pick another clients such as Teku, Nimbus, or Lodestar. Nimbus is one of the latest added on the chain. Nimbus is a hand down on the most resource efficient, and I think is an amazing consensus client. For the better client diversity, I would recommend pick the Nimbus. On the Lodestar, Lodestar is a solid stability and high attestation efficiency, but it uses more RAM. It need a more RAM than Lighthouse, which means is a little bit creating a little bit difficulty. But Lodestar is also perfectly they managed by the chain safe team. Another one, execution layer. Of course, we just only have two execution layer clients, which are Nethermind and Aragon. Nethermind is our best friends on the Gnosis chain, and also Aragon, also the other best friends. So Nethermind is resource efficiency and perfectly stable. They're always giving extremely nice support on every validators on field. So it has fastest sync time, but the on the Gnosis chain right now is a super majority client. So if you start, if you consider starting a node, please pick the other one, which is Aragon. It is a beautiful thing because of on the mainnet side, the GET is a super majority client. On the Gnosis chain side, the Nethermind is a super majority client, but we will add GET and RED as a execution layer client as soon as possible. If you talk about Aragon is an archival node. With the version 3 is a super resource efficiency. It is only execution client which was able to run from the HDD instead of requiring an SSD, which is a little bit interesting things. But if you think about the Aragon, if you want to use Aragon needs more handholding other clients, you have to put some DevOps efforts and energy to using Aragon. If you don't know what is an archival node, I would recommend Aragon. Please go to another mind. This one is a personal tips from Harok. Never run Aragon together with the Nimbus. They do not seem like each other, and he had an issue with this combination on Ethereum and Gnosis Chain sites. So yeah, thank you for all great tips, Harok. If you listen this, I'm sure you can you will listen. You are listening this call. Yeah, this is another one. Get and Red is on the line right now. First the Get and then Red. We are sharing. We are updating our current progress on the every core devs call records and notes. If you want to learn more, please check it out. Yeah, attestation efficiency is another one. There are three different things. Which is a SSD speed. Please use the NVM SSD. This is a good one, and also Thorsten Behrens, which was called Yorick Down, shared amazing SSD guide. What was the name? Hell of Blame. So please check it out. The amazing documents. Another one is of course if you want to consider the attestation efficiency, you have to make sure that connect your node via Ethernet cable. Wi-Fi is making trouble, so Ethernet cable is the best one for the highest attestation efficiency. And of course, another one is the bandwidth. You have to make sure that reliable internet connection. On the Ethereum node uses around 2 or 3 terabytes, which is minimum level. But for example, if you are using an archival node, yes, you need more data for that. So Gnosis is slightly more than that. There's like a 3 or 4 is the minimum level. So yeah, make sure that there are no data caps on your connection. Right now, we have covered the setup and client choices, and we know that how we become a node. But how we can this process more enjoyable and more fun. I will pass it back to Sebastian for being a nodeler on the Gnosis chain. So yeah, add it on the stage. Welcome back, Sebastian.
Yes. So, I mean, to me, the interesting thing is, and by the way, really kudos to the DAppNode team for this fantastic Hopper demo here. Yeah, makes me happy to see when there's people outside the Hopper team demoing our staking hub and how easy it is to start off a node. To me, basically, some things are important to consider that, some things Arman pointed out already too. And it is, why would you run a node? Why should you do that? Like, it seems stupid, right? It costs time, you have to take care of it. Well, first of all, I have to say, it is quite cool. It's a very cool thing to do. It's, very few people are actually in control of their own node and their access to the chain. That's the first thing. And the next thing is like, maybe some of you have experienced these few, but sometimes super crazy days on a blockchain. They happen very rarely, but sometimes, price goes way down, big drama. All of crypto's over, right? Like we had it, I think, like 3 days ago. Big drama, crypto is dead. We're not even here. You're just imagining this, right? So many times when that happens, centralized providers, they go down. They just don't give you access, and you see a spinning wheel in your MetaMask and nothing happens. Well, guess what? When you run your own node, you can connect it via DAppNode to your MetaMask or whatever other wallet you're using. and you still have access. I've seen it at some point, even though I didn't want to sell or buy my ETH, because usually I do the wrong thing anyway. But just being able, people wanted to, panic sell or panic buy, which is good, right? Sometimes you have a great opportunity when there's massive panic, price goes way down, you can buy. But you know what? Kraken was offline. Binance was completely screwed. You have no way. You don't even know what the price really is. Like basically CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, they show crazy random prices. No way you can find out anything. So I was actually connected to my own node, and I could use decentralized exchanges to find out what is the price. I could find out what a transaction costs, and I could send a transaction. Sure, maybe it's expensive when there's a lot of people who rush in to use the chain at that very moment, but you can. And having that ability is extremely important, and that's why on my dApp node, I have actually more than one dApp node. I have 3 dApp nodes running right now. And I am running nodes for Gnosis Chain, of course, but I'm also running mainnet nodes because I want to have that ability. And there's also some L2s, which you can very easily, basically, as we've seen, you basically click a button for that, and you run a node of that L2. And again, nobody can take it away from you, right? Nobody can tell you, no, we shut you off, KYC not confirmed, sorry, man, off you go. Or, we just shut down our operations. Nobody can take that away from you. And I find it extremely, it gives me a certain peace of mind that I find very beautiful. And I encourage people to just check that out. Now, the next thing is, of course, not just running a node, but then securing the chain, right? And securing the chain, it's a little bit, you've seen that you can actually do that, but to me, it's a little bit like participating in a lottery, right? So basically, a Gnosis Chain, every couple of seconds, there's a lottery, and somebody gets randomly selected, and now you have the right to produce a block. And when typically on Gnosis Chain, it's like like every 1 to 2 months or so, it's your turn. Like when you run one GNO validator, right? Like every 1 to 2 months, it's like you wake up in the morning, you check you log into dApp node, right? Like you usually do when you wake up in the morning, and you're saying, okay, and you look at the stats and you're saying, oh, okay, I made some revenue here. That's pretty cool. So it's really about protecting the chain and being part of it. And that's something, if you think about your bank, right, there's like open banks and like all sorts of other bullshit terms which are totally not open. Here, you participate in it. Like Armand said it, you are partially an owner of that chain. That's crazy. That's something that nobody could have ever done before this crazy crypto stuff. And now these are all the tools that dApp node made very accessible for you to do that. And I find it amazing. One thing that is also kind of interesting is dApp node has a VPN access. So you can always, even when you're not at home, you can connect to your dApp node. It's like your own VPN server that runs at home. And so if you are in a like dodgy hotel Wi-Fi, most hotels are actually giving you free Wi-Fi because they're data harvesting you, which is totally fucked up. You can connect to that secure connection to your dApp node that runs in your home, and you get connected through that. I find it also super nice extra feature of dApp node. And when you do that, there's the extra perk that then again you can easily connect to your local Ethereum, Gnosis Chain, Arbitrum, whatever you like, node. And that's cool because then even in your mobile wallet, you can use that as an RPC provider to tell you your ETH balance, your tokens, and again, have this ability, whatever other provider shuts down, to get access there. And maybe for the more technically inclined people, I find it pretty interesting that maybe you're running some heavy queries. You're running some Python scripts that want to data harvest it, and you connect it to Infura. Everybody starts there, right? If you read some tutorial, you go to Infura, maybe you go to Gateway or Anchor, some provider that gives you access to the chain. Well, guess what? That gets pretty expensive. If your Python script is maybe not so optimized and you're querying a lot of data, that gets very, very expensive and slow. And I checked it actually at some point. So I ran it against my own node, and it was literally over 100 times faster, because you don't need to pull data over the internet. And if you pull a lot, that takes a while, and your node is standing typically next to you, right? So it's crazy to see how much faster it is. So it's not just for users, but also for developers or data analysts, or if you're into DeFi and you want to know and crunch all the data, you have access to all the data. I find it super powerful and super good. And yeah, so for some Python script that I was running and I was actually timing it, it was 100 times faster to run it against my local node than going via one of the public RPC endpoints that tell you stuff like who has how many GNO tokens or Hopper tokens and did what with that at Uniswap and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, there is upsides to running your node if you are a user and you like self-custodial nature and like censorship resistance. There's upsides for application developers and data scientists. And there's an upside for people who just say, hey, I want to earn passive income. I want to secure the chain. And for doing so, I want to put my GNO to work and earn some money for that. So there's something for this. There's a lot of different motivations for running that. And again, back to my first point, it's an incredibly cool thing to do to secure a decentralized ecosystem that secures millions and millions of dollars, and you're taking part of it on equal footing as the very big funds and whatever they run. Yeah, so I encourage everyone to step into that journey.
Thank you so much for these incredible tips and the highlighting the all points. I mean, yeah, it is a securing the network, which means secure your own stack, own financial stack at the same time. This is a magical thing. No one can secure the own banking system, but you can do that with becoming a validator. So which is great. Thank you so much, Sebastian. It's always great pleasure to listen to your experience on the chain. So yeah, next up, we are ready to go the next section. In this section, we will hear about OBOL and the Shutter network and in the Gnosis Chain staking ecosystem. Let me prepare something here. I will invite either centralized from OBOL network right now.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Super happy to be here. So, big fan of the Gnosis community. You guys have been kind of critical to the Ethereum community for many years. Excited for the Hopper community to get to join the Ethereum and Gnosis community as well. And so, briefly, 30 seconds on my background. I go by homevalidator.eth as my ENS. I'm currently the head of ecosystem at DV Labs. I've been full-time in Ethereum since 2017. I co-founded iTrust Capital, where we pioneered crypto retirement accounts. I was the first growth hire at POAP, where we did a lot of great work around precious digital collectibles. And now at DV Labs, I'm super excited about the distributed staking technologies that we're building, which are doing a lot of great work for Ethereum and other chains. And so a little background on the OBOL Collective is a group of dozens of industry-leading companies and thousands of unique individuals who are all dedicated to the mission of securing and decentralizing Web3 through the use of distributed validators. And Gnosis is a founding member of the OBOL Collective, so we're super excited to have them helping to pioneer this next generation. And it looks like my PDF import messed up the text a little bit. I was going to run it on Google Slides and I turned it into a PDF, but that's okay. And so we're building an ecosystem that prioritizes security and decentralization through distributed validators. And no matter who anyone is, there is a role that they can play within this collective, whether you are a team who is building things like a staking protocol or a product, whether you're just a normal person who wants to get involved in squad staking, which we'll talk about today, and many other areas. So that's just a little bit of background. And all day today, we have been talking about a validator, a Gnosis validator. And I'm going to introduce a new concept called distributed validator. And the best way for a lot of people is to see something visually. So what does a DV actually look like? DV for distributed validator. And on the left, we see a current validator, and it is a single computer, typically running various pieces of software that turns into a validator on chain. Now, a distributed validator is multiple computers running a combination of software, sometimes different software to have like client diversity, and they work work together to form a single validator, which is a distributed validator. And we'll kind of make it a little more clear. And what does OBLDVs actually do here? Like what is the benefit? The visual helps, but I need some words here. And so it's transitioning the validator from monolithic to modular. And so no longer are you running a validator by yourself as a single operator. You're running it with multiple operators. No longer is it just a single machine in your home. It's actually multiple machines in multiple homes with those multiple operators. And no longer is it a single private key, which private key security can be quite difficult. It's private key shares, which is both slightly easier to manage and more secure. And now I'm going to introduce a concept called squad staking. So we understand that there's validators and there's distributed validators, and squad staking is enabled by distributed validators. So this is a transformative approach to staking, which basically allows groups of individuals to collectively run a validator. So think about you and a group of friends, a squad, jointly run a validator. This could be not only friends, this could maybe be people from your company. It could be people you meet online. It could be a local community. There's a lot of ways to form a squad, and maybe your fellow Hopper community members. You can band together and get a squad together. And this has a lot of benefits for you as a validator operator. And so just to kind of zoom out, there's this Gnosis 3.0 vision where there is a whole ecosystem being built on Gnosis Chain. And it's important to note that validators like yourself, aspiring validators, are the ones who actually secure this consensus layer to enable this whole ecosystem to live and flourish. And squad staking is what helps secure that. It's another tool in the toolbox, a very powerful tool to enable you to stake in an easier, better, secure way. And so this means practically is more nodes, more operators, and more locations. And for yourself, this is the most important. So when we think about usually staking by yourself, let's first talk about accessibility. You're by yourself, you need to figure it out through docs, maybe on Discord, but you kind of need to fumble your way through unless you're very, very technical. So with squad staking, it's easier with a group of friends. So accessibility is better. It is easier to stake with a group of friends. You can help each other, you can learn from each other, etc. Also, downtime is not a concern. Typically, if your validator goes offline, you are no longer earning rewards during that period, and you are also very, very slightly losing some of your earned rewards, called leaking. Now, leaking is not a huge issue. It's great the way the mechanism was designed, but you still don't want to be down. Luckily, with squad staking, you can go down. And as long as the rest of your squad is online, you meet a certain threshold, your validator, your distributed validator, stays online. So you can go out to the beach. If your validator's offline, hey, keep hanging out, fix it the next day, fix it the next week. Your squad can take care of you. So we say stake and sleep or stake and surf, whatever you want. So next is resiliency. First is improved key security. Generating keys requires you, if you're doing it properly, to have an air-gapped computer or like a proper HSM. There's different ways to do it. Luckily, with squad staking, we have a distributed key generation ceremony where you and your squad generate a key. You each get a key share, and if the security concerns and the attack surface is much lower for a normal user, it's much better, it's much easier. Also, to back up with resiliency, we have lower slashing risks. If you are going to validate on chain by yourself, if there is an issue that you do not participate properly in consensus, you are at risk of being slashed and losing funds. Now, luckily, a lot of slashings don't occur, but if they do occur, it is very, very bad, and you will literally have your money slashed. And so luckily, there are substantially lower slashing risks when you're with a squad, because if you act up or you make a mistake, as long as your squad also doesn't, that will still not happen to the distributed validator. You will be an outlier. Just like if your validator goes down, you're an outlier. If you make a mistake, that would have been slashable. It's an outlier. It's not a problem with a squad. Also, to add on to resiliency, we have built in client diversity. As Armand mentioned, that there are different client implementations you can run to get a Gnosis Chain validator online. And you need to make an explicit choice when you run a validator. You need to decide, I want to run this software or I want to run this software. And you have to live with that user experience, the consequences, the pros, all of those things. With a squad, each of you in your squad can run different versions of this software. And so you have built-in diversity within your distributed validator. And this is something that is very novel and doesn't exist anywhere else except for in squad staking. And finally, rewards. So this is kind of a deeper conversation and is quite nuanced, but long story short, if you are a squad staker and you are a high quality, performing well squad staker, which is easier to perform well as a squad, as I mentioned, you have the potential for higher rewards through delegated stake. And you can get delegated stake in different ways. First, Stakewise is a protocol that is deployed on Gnosis Chain and allows you to deploy a sort of decentralized vault, like a squad staking vault that others could deposit into, and you guys can run stake. But there's also other programs we're looking to help pioneer in the collective to allow squad stakers to get delegated stake. So it's not just you and your squad each putting up, half a GNO or one GNO or a few GNO, but additional GNO could be placed on top of your distributed validator, which you would earn a portion of those rewards. And I just wanted to keep it short today. So obol.org, you can learn everything there about the Obol Collective, about distributed validators. We do hope to soon create kind of user onboarding guides if you do want to squad stake within Gnosis Chain. So feel free to check that out. And you can always head to the Discord as well, or you can reach out to me on Twitter, homevalidator.eth. And we look forward to seeing the first few squad stakers from the Hopper community.
Thank you so much for the detailed presentation, homevalidator.eth. So honestly, I'm very excited about the DVT and the Obol DV cluster, and also as well as the squad staking options on Gnosis Chain. Is right now our test is ongoing. We will share detailed information very soon, detailed report very soon. And also the dAppNode package also is coming to very soon. So yeah, thank you so much for presentation. Next up is the Shutter network and the Shutter Gnosis Chain. In this section, we will listen to the presentation from Luis and Mark from Nethermind. I hand it over to you. Yeah. We cannot hear you, Luis. I think there's some sound issue right now. Okay, no rush. We have a few minutes. He will be back. Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly. Thank you for participation.
Yeah, so I'm Mark. I work at Nethermind, and I've been recently working on adding support for Shutter I think Lewis is going to give a presentation, but I guess I'll just stick around if there's anything I can help clarify anything.
Does it work now?
Yes, welcome back.
Great. Just rejoin and change nothing. Weird. Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. Sorry for the technical issues. I'm also super excited about this this call and Hopper and DevNode and Obal. I think this is all kind of different technologies, different use cases, different goals, but all extremely value aligned, I think. And I just have a couple of slides to just talk a little about Shutter and Hopper and how it relates to Hopper, and the current status of the encrypted mempool for Gnosis Chain. So
yes, here we go.
So Shutter is this sort of open source technology, and also a movement beyond, we hope. It is at its core is a threshold encryption DKG, which acts to provide encryption-decryption keys, and especially for transaction encryption and MEV protection and front-running protection. So the Shutter keeper, as we call them, who are running these threshold encryption nodes, they generate keys that are then used by users to encrypt their transactions and have them be, and the order of transactions is finalized before they're decrypted and then executed. So because the validators need to commit to the ordering and inclusion of transactions while they're encrypted, it means they cannot, they should not be able to front run or censor. And we think this helps with, in general, with baseline neutrality, censorship resistance, front-running protection, and more generally information symmetry and accessibility. And the general mechanism is also applied to other use cases. So, for example, we have a partnership and integration with Snapshot, where it acts to encrypt the real-time results during the vote. And recently, timing couldn't be better for this call, because we recently had we recently published a blog post about Shutter and Hopper, and we think there's no freedom without end-to-end encryption, and essentially both technologies are encrypt transactions, where Shutter is encrypting again for real-time censorship resistance and front resistance, whereas Hopper encrypts for privacy and censorship resistance as well, we think. So it's different technologies, different missions, but we think very complementary technologies and very similar values. And also, as a little bit of sneak peek, we are scoping out a unified privacy SDK, which would incorporate both encryption technologies, and which then wallet adapt developers could easily, hopefully, drop in and integrate to enhance their application's privacy features. But this is early stages. Hopefully, we'll have a workshop for this at DEF CON. And just to highlight a little bit more about the censorship issue, I think this is kind of a little bit at the core of one of the things that are at the core of why we're doing this, is that we still have validators censoring transactions via the OFAC list and other sort of methods, but also relays and also builders are also censoring, and it only sort of takes one in this chain, in this MEV transaction supply chain, only takes one of these intermediaries to censor. So yeah, we think it's still a big issue, and we think we need to get around it. We need to get front running and malicious MEV down, and we need to get the base layer to be fully neutral and censorship resistant, and we think that'll hopefully lead to a more level playing field, and also ideally accessibility and more user agency. And how are we doing this? Sure, at Gnosis Chain. So we are collaborating with Gnosis Chain, the Nethermind teams. Again, we're encrypting transactions and user encrypt transactions, and the validators are picking them up while they're still encrypted. And then only once transactions are included are they decrypted and executed. And there's this threshold committee which are the keepers that are collaboratively generating the keys. Currently, it is live. We just launched it at ECC. We had the encrypted mempool for Gnosis Chain. We had a successful launch on time, but there were still some stability issues. We needed to keep our P2P connectivity and also some issues with our client in general. And that's why we're still only having 5% of the Gnosis Chain's validators be running the specialized shutterized Nethermind build, which currently leads to sort of long transaction inclusion times. And we are currently still in that mode where we are a little bit conservative about it and keeping testing. But we just released another keeper release, which improves performance and connectivity. So working through this, and we're also working on sort of analytics here. You see a sneak peek of this, when are keys being generated for which slots, and then hopefully you'll also be able to inspect your individual transaction and see when a key for the individual transaction is being released. And we're working towards this next release, which is focused really on stability and focused on analytics and providing an insight into the engine room of the system. So we want to really show what's happening under the hood, how many validators are running it, how many keepers are there, what's the threshold of the keepers, what are average transaction inclusion times, when are keys being generated, all of these things. And in medium term, many more sort of action items there. We want to get to as close to 100% validators be shutterized. We are connecting with the Aragon team to have an implementation. They're excited about it. They want to dedicate developer time towards this. We want to implement staking and slashing, and many more things. We also have we just started. DAppNode team also just started work on providing a DAppNode package for the keepers. Yeah. So if you want to try it out for yourself, you can add this RPC, which is the specialized encrypting RPC, and then you are set and your transactions are encrypted from there on. Couple of caveats, those aforementioned caveats, right? Some stability issues, some longer transaction inclusion times, and then also just the general caveat that, and we've been talking about this, we're talking about trust assumptions and censorship resistance and decentralization. Having this encrypting RPC isn't actually the end goal, because having the encrypting RPC means they are encrypting for you. So there's another trust assumption there that the RPC doesn't essentially then front run you. So we want to ultimately move away from this and have the encryption be again as close to the user as possible. For example, inside the dApp or wallet. Yeah. And for wallet validators, Gnosis Chain validators, again, we're not essentially encouraging everyone at the same time to run the shutterized Nethermind build now, but we want people to learn about it and to connect. So if you want to do so, please join this Telegram group. And there's more resources in there, and there's other Gnosis Chain validators that are interested in this. So again, once we have ironed out all the stability issues, we want to get a lot more validators using the specialized Nethermind build to start supporting the encrypted mempool. So that's one step to prepare for this. And then I also really recommend checking out Camille's from Nethermind's demo, where he live upgrades and walks through how to upgrade a normal Nethermind client to a shutterized Nethermind client. And as there was on just I think 2 weeks ago at the Gnosis Validator meetup, it's on YouTube, so we recommend checking that out. Awesome walkthrough from Camille and showing how easy it is to do so. So I think that's sort of it from my side.
Just to add to that, so working on improving the validator stability, and at some point it'll be included in a full release of Nethermind once it's ready. So it'll be even easier. You won't have to run a special build.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm really excited to have a short-ride Gnosis chain as a user, as a validator. Really looking forward to the full version or encouraging the more validators. Thank you so much for participating in this call. Right now,
Cheers.
let
Bye.
me. Sorry, go on, Mark.
I was just saying goodbye.
Thank you. Okay. We have finished the presentations. Thank you so much for listening to us. If you have any questions, please share with us on the chat. I would like to thank you for all speakers, all amazing presentations who made. So yeah, the next call will happen next week, where we hold a workshop on how we create a vault in Stakewise version 3 as the I decentralized mentioned. Oh, we have a question. Hoping to see other clients supported in the future. Yeah, of course. Try to onboard more and more clients such as Get and Red, and in the near future maybe Prism and also Besu. Who knows? So our core developer team, core developers working on that. We will see more clients on Gnosis Chain. Yeah, our next call will be next week. It's all about the vault creation on Stakewise version 3. This workshop run by Stakesaurus, who is located in Southeast Asia. So yeah, I will share more info about that on the social media. Thank you so much for participation. Thank you all again. Thank you all presentations. So see you on chain.